Greetings. I've just finished taking a lovely bath. Yes, I feel so nice and clean now, ready to start the day. What, you thought I was busy bathing in the Indus River as you see over here? No, 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 no. I was actually bathing in a real bath. I'm not like those Mesopotamians or those Egyptians. Unlike them, I am civilized. No, I'm not a barbarian. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we have the Indus Valley. And that music you heard is not accurate because they did not have sitars back then, so they would have had music more like this. Anyway, never mind. This is a very rough outfit of the Indus Valley. So yes, the Fertile Crescent is just about complete. Although, we did not compete, unlike the Egyptians and Mesopotamians. We were a peaceful people. Yeah, the Fertile Crescent, ancient Egypt, ancient Mesopotamia, and now the Indus Valley. This is the extremely rough beginning of the outfit, so bear with me, there's going to be a few inaccuracies, so let me show you in full. Alright, let me just move the future machine, stand it up over here instead. And I'm not going to take a bath in the river. See the beautiful Indus River. It is the Indus, alright? So, the Indus Valley. What was the Indus Valley? So before I explain the outfits, let me explain what we know about the Indus Valley. So out of the three civilizations of what we call the Fertile Crescent, which is basically a section of planet Earth that was so fertile, it was perfect for life. And it saw the first civilizations come to life. Egypt, in your perspective, Egypt, and then further across, you've got Mesopotamia, right next to the Persian Gulf, and further east, you've got the Indus Valley. So while the Nile River gave life to Egypt, and the Tigris and Euphrates River gave life to Mesopotamia, the Indus River, the River Indus, gave life to the Indus Valley civilization. So, basically, out of the three, the least we know about is the Indus Valley. It's really sad. There's very little known about the Indus Valley civilization. We don't even know their language. We haven't even translated their writing yet. But what we do know is we have, well, there's a lot of evidence. And one thing that really shocks us is just how high their standards were in urban planning. So while the Egyptians, they were busy bathing in the River Nile and living in mud clay huts, the Mesopotamians, pretty much similar situation. The Indus Valley, they had an irrigation system. They had sewage trenches and canals, and they actually baked their bricks, and they had a uniform set way of making bricks. So we find that settlements all across the Indus River, the River Indus, are pretty much uniform. So they were very much a very well organized ancient civilization going to the Bronze Age. And what is so fascinating is they were contemporary with Egypt and Mesopotamia. Although yes, Mesopotamia takes the #1 spot for the oldest, being Sumeria, because evidence of their existence goes back to almost 5000 BC. The oldest evidence of the Indus Valley goes back to about 3300 BC. That is what we call the beginning of the early Indus Valley. And come the year 2600 BC, the Indus Valley is in its mature phase. It is in its golden age. However, about 700 years later, things started to go bad, and about 1900 BC, they say that this was the end of the mature phase and the beginning of the late phase of the Indus Valley. And for the next 600 years, the Indus Valley just slowly declined until about 1300 BC, they mysteriously vanished. They simply, what it seems they've done is just abandoned their cities. We don't even know what happened to them. A few theories are that they simply, early on they used to think that the Aryan people of the West came in and invaded them. However, the Aryan people moving into the Indus region happened quite a bit after they started to decline. So they actually theorized it was climate change, simple as that. You see, the Indus River, unlike the River Nile and also the Euphrates River, it was a lot more unpredictable, and it flooded a lot more harshly. Sorry, English is not my first language. I don't even know what language I speak in the Indus Valley. That is unfortunate. Yep, we don't know. They theorize that the Indus River actually started to shift and leaving a lot of towns completely dry while other towns were flooded over. The major two sites that they found are Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro. So these two sites are the biggest cities, if you could call it, of the Indus Valley. And it was at these sites that we know so much about them, or so little, but if it wasn't for that, we might not even know about them now. So they theorize, yeah, the Indus River simply changed, got drier. They theorize that the people of the Indus Valley actually, basically migrated northwards towards the Himalayan mountains, or even assimilated into the early Vedic culture, because the next phase in Indian history is the Vedic period, which is a story for another day. So, the Indus Valley really is full of so many mysteries. Yeah, let me explain the outfits, which will help you understand the Indus people a bit more, and I've got a little surprise for you also at the end. So, what do we know about attire from the Indus Valley? Basically, there is quite a few statuettes surviving, so we can get an idea of what they wore, but not much in physical remains has remained. So what I've done is I've based my impression on something, or should I say someone, called the Priest King. So the Priest King is a statue that they found, and it dates to between 2000 and 1900 BC, and it is a statue of a man. And this is exactly the impression that I have based my outfit on. The reason they call him a priest king, it's just because the way he looks. He looks a little bit more fancy than other members of society that we've found. But in reality, we don't even know if they were ruled by kings, or if they even had priests or religion. I mean, it's most likely they had some sort of religion, but we just don't know what. So the priest king, all we have left of him is the top half. The rest is broken, so I'll explain that now. So before I stand up, I'll explain the top half, because that's all we have of him. So the priest king, we have going to roughly about this section of him. He looks something like this. Let me get into position as best as I can remember. Like this, and ready, and I'll try put the picture next to it, but this is more or less what he looked like. So his very thoughtful look has made people think he's probably some sort of religious, some sort of some sort of role he played in society to do with some religion, but we just don't know. Anyway, we have his statue and we have what they wore. So why it's rough, this outfit, is because firstly, this is not the material I wanted to use. It is cotton, which they use cotton. Funny enough, I thought cotton was a bit later, but actually cotton, the Indus Valley had it. China only got cotton in the Yuan dynasty, which is Mongol time. But the Indus Valley had cotton, which surprises me. But this is the wrong pattern. The material should have, as you've seen, tri-shaped, three-sided flowers, you could say, with a few circles. This is just uniform one flower, and which is not really what I want. The priest king wore a bracelet. We don't even know what it was. It looks like a bracelet with a pendant on the center, and he wore the exact same thing on his head as well. So that's I've replicated very roughly. I actually want to sew it and tailor it, but for now I've made a quick rough headband. And even the pendant you see actually looks like it could be a ring, not even a precious stone, because I'm saying this is gold. The Indus Valley, they had quite a bit of gold, and they liked gold and silver. It's just hard to say what the artist, even the flowers drawn on his robe were sticking out a bit, but I think that's just artistic license. So that ring probably represented a precious stone, not an actual ring that stuck out. Very hard to say though. I've looked behind, it's hard to see if you can see band behind it. We just can't tell. And also, if it was a ring, the sides of the band would have looped around the ring like that, and that would have potentially been depicted in the headband. So it's most likely it was a pendant of some sort. Now, this tree is actually literally in the way. It's all right there. I've sadly also had to take a little bit of artistic license, because we don't know what the priest king wore below, because the statue's missing. It could have just been full on just a robe like such. However, Oh, hello there, dog. Don't interrupt me. I'm speaking to the future. Oh. So the reason I've gone for this type of pants is these pants are called dhoti. So dhoti are pants that are even still worn today in India. And I'll explain how they work. So there is a little bit of evidence that the Harappans, let me quickly elaborate. It's called the Indus Valley civilization, but that's named after the river Indus. But the first site they discovered, Harappa is a modern, well, was a modern village near the site that they discovered. So they called the site Harappa. And they called the whole civilization the Harappans, the Harappan civilization. So we don't know what they call themselves, but you basically you could call them the Indus Valley or the Harappans. So we've seen evidence of the Harappans wearing something that resembles a dhoti. And the dhoti is basically a big rectangular sheet of material of cotton that goes around your waist, folded up and folded in a fancy way to make sleeves for your legs, and it looks as such. So some of the statuettes and evidence that we have of the Indus Valley, you see men wearing something that looks a bit like a dhoti, not exactly. So it probably was a variation, or perhaps the ancestor to the dhoti. So it just makes sense to wear a dhoti. And if you'd like, I can show you how it is put on. So let me also, before I put on the dhoti, let me also wear just the dhoti, just in case this is a bit inaccurate. You see some statues, the men have most of them wearing the pants, they don't have anything on top. So it's a bit more accurate to portray an Indus Valley person shirtless, just wearing the pants like this. And even potentially without the jewelry as well, because that is more the priest king's type of thing. So there, how's that now? There, just your typical Indus Valley man. Cool, eh? So how to put on the dhoti is it's interesting, let's just say. So how to take it off is step one. Step two, and step three. And don't worry, I'm wearing underwear underneath, I'm wearing boxers. And then step four is take it off. Boom. So basically, how the dhoti works is it is a big rectangle of material. Can you see? And you essentially gather it on the front over here, tie it at the waist, I'm not crazy, I'm doing a history demonstration. Bypasses. And then what you do, so you can see it's a big rectangle of material like this. So I've tied it at the waist, and then you gather the front. I don't know if I'll upload this part. I guess I will. And then that's very much like an Egyptian shanty. It goes up like that. Then you're left with the front. So what you do then is you pleat it like this. So you make little pleats. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Most dhotis are a bit longer than this, but I've made a plan with this. And then you take it, make it go under, and you grab it, and then that gets tucked in the back. And then the same is done with the front. So here, 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 make a few pleats, and then same thing, take it underneath and then gather it and tuck it in. Seeing that? There you go. And then your last but not least, oh, I've got water from the Indus on my doti. Oh dear. It is too dirty for my liking. I need to have a bath now. I'm sure they weren't that fussed. And then what you do, let me get this side first actually. You're now left with two bits hanging right down the front here. So you've got these two bits now that are loose. You see, you can't really, it's not practical. So you take this and you do the exact same thing on the front. So we pleat it, pleat, 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 and that then gets tucked in right at the front, like so. And then same thing on the other side. So you take pleat, 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 and then, oh no, and this is the wet part, oh dear. Oh, okay. Oh, oh, oh. And there we have the doti. And it is so maneuverable, light, and really comfy. Okay, I want to be the priest king again. Well, the alleged priest king. We don't even know what he actually was. I'm going to just also move this because of the sun shining in my face. Great, that's better. So, the Indus Valley was quite interesting in terms of what they wore. There's a lot of different styles, but at the end of the day, in fact, you know what, this is just inaccurate. I don't like this. It should be the pattern that I wanted. I've yet to actually go get material, but for now, this is what we have. Cool, eh? Brown, not too sure about that, but nonetheless, we don't really know what colors they wore. The priest king, slight bit of evidence that on his robe there was actually a bit of red, as if the statue was painted red. So yeah, it was likely that his robe was actually red. So I would like to have a red robe with the flowers, so hopefully in the second rendition. So yes, now I can show you the little surprise I have. So today at the school I was teaching the children about the Indus Valley, and I first of all explained the history like I did to you, and yeah, just the fact that so much is a mystery. Yeah, it's just such a big mystery. But what we do have, something that we do have, is their pottery. So a lot of these type of things have been found in the Indus Valley, and this is a cow, as you can tell, But they theorize that these could have actually been children's toys. And check here, I've got quite a few. I'll show them to you now. This is what the children made. And it makes me, again, just so proud to see how well they learn. Oh, look at this. Someone even tried to do an impression of me. Okay, now I have to put on the Priest King's band. I want to make an improved version. So the Priest King wore it not over his ears, funny enough, and he actually had a middle parting hairstyle. So the Priest King has a middle parting, and funny enough, his moustache actually isn't that prominent, but he's got a very a trimmed, short but prominent beard. So there we go. Someone actually tried to impress me. Look at this. Should I try and pose like him? Okay, ready and there we go. So we have quite a few things left over from the Harappans. The main things that we have left is, of course, their towns and cities, which make them famous. Their sewage systems, buildings, everything. It was literally the most advanced out of all their contemporaries. It beats Mesopotamian and Egyptian architecture during their earlier times, but come 1900, so my impression is going to about 1900 BC, to the time of this guy. But this was when they slowly started to decline. So Egypt was at the beginning of the Middle Kingdom, Montuhotep, and well, Egypt was seeing a new great golden age with the Middle Kingdom. Not even the Hyksos had come yet. So yeah, the Indus Valley was pretty much on the decline at this time. But also we have things left from them, like just items, some things we can't explain. Most famous of which were their little, it was like basically clay tablet disc thingies with inscriptions, which forms this unknown language with pictures under them. It is theorized these could have been used for trading or record keeping. But that's where we have what looks like text. It looks very interesting. Not like cuneiform, not like hieroglyphics. It's completely unique. You'll see what it looks like. I'll put up a few pictures. But also what is so incredible is they left behind toys. This right here, oh, well, you see, this right here is a monkey. So maybe I should show you the pictures before I show you the statues that we made. So I printed a lot of pictures for the children to make their clay models out of. So the Indus Valley made things, the people made things like this: oxen and a cart with wheels that actually move. Here's one of my favorites, the monkey, and it's designed to actually, you can put a string on it and it'll climb up and down the string, or a stick. We have over here, I'll show you this one. We have over here another bull, a figurine of a bull. Over here a cart with wheels that work, and we have another cart, and actually you could put string through this, but string is perishable obviously, and you could actually create a bit of a thing. And last but not least, my favorite, and the Priest King himself. Oh shoot, I was posing this way when I should have been posing that. Okay, redo. Can't believe this. So annoying, can't believe this. Oh, I had to pose the one way, then they made the statue. I should have just posed the other way. I should have just sat that way, but no, the sculptor said no, you have to sit this way because it looks better. And now I have to repose. It's bad. So you know that I am the Priest King. Oh, but then what am I actually? You might be asking. That is a secret. I'm not going to tell you. I didn't leave enough evidence for you to know in the future. There we go. This red line is actually from yesterday. I was in my Paleolithic outfit, putting body paint on myself. Silly me. I should have foreseen that. No, there mustn't be hair sticking out there. I should actually trim my moustache quickly. Oh, this is awful. His forehead is very narrow. Bit alien-like narrow. Okay, let's redo that. Yeah, I suppose the pendant is the right way. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and there, and it's quite forward facing. And ready. Wait, ready, steady. How's that look, eh? Although he doesn't have a nose. I'm going to have to break my nose. Alright, hold on. Future music, can I use you? Alright. Ready, steady. Then, now I don't have to break my nose. That is a bit big, so. Not quite. Alright. Anyway, so, oh wow. Just print another priest king. Imagine that happens to the original statue. That'd be awful, awful. So, Harapan. And they also, so yeah, as you can see, here is the monkey toy that's one of the kids made. And it's actually pretty cool, hey? Look at that. And it can climb up and down. Oh no, its arm came off. Yeah, the clay's not fully dry yet, so I better wet that and reattach it. Yeah, okay. And we also have a bull of some sort. Very creative on the horns. Cheat. Still nice. And another one that looks very Indus Valley, because you see, you find with the Indus Valley that the eyes are weird. I'll show you now. Like, look at one of the kids did it quite well. Look at this person. Here's the eye. Look at that. And I'll try to put a picture up, but it's just their eyes seem to be very strange. You see, you get some real works of art. It is a work of art. And you get some very basic models. So it seems like different people making different things at different times. I mean, they theorize some of these things were toys, and maybe they were just made by a child at home. So it's actually quite fitting that these are made by the children at school, you know. This one's also quite detailed. Hey, look at that. And they actually made this one's head move. Cool, eh? Because there is Indus Valley toys that heads move like this. Oh. Hey, it is saying it is shaking its head. Although we don't even know if the Indus Valley they did that. That's a much later in Indian history. So all these things, you know, and what accent should I use? You know, should I use an Indian accent? Should I not? Technically, the Indian accent, talking in English, you say bath, going to the bath. That is very much a remnant of the British India, where they taught us how to speak British English. Go over to the bath. Have a glass of water in a bath, not a glass of water in a bath. That's if the Americans colonized India, and imagine that. Oh, goodness. But yeah, it's sadly it is thanks to well, it's hard to say, but it was a British archaeologist who discovered Harappan. It was at first a gentleman in the 1850s, but then later a man named Sir John Marshall was appointed the head archaeologist of British India. And he thought, you know what, those little ruins they discovered and thought not much of, let me actually go there and check. And Sir John Marshall went and actually decided, no, this is important, and he organized an excavation. He decided to excavate in 1920, and the very next year they started excavating the Indus Valley. So it's technically 1920s history as well. It's just like how Egypt was uncovered. It's fascinating as well. It had its own whole story with Egyptology, and a lot of chants and bits of history that if they didn't happen, we wouldn't know of them. But yeah, the Indus Valley, this is way before even the idea of the British Empire was a twinkle in the eye of St. George. Before St. George. So yeah, yeah, so that was a bit of the Indus Valley, my brief intro to the Indus Valley. I really hope to actually make a proper robe like the Priest King, with the right colors and pattern. But for now, this was the best I could do, and even the pendants are identical on the statue, as you can see. Well, okay, the head pendant does look a bit bigger, so as you can see, but nonetheless, and my beard should be bigger as well. I'm not the Priest King. No, I'm the Priest King before his beard was perfectly formed, alright? I'm the Priest King from 1950 BC, but this portrait was taken in 1948 BC. So 2 years of growing my beautiful beard. This is future for me. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, Indus Valley. I hope you enjoyed. It's been an adventure just for you, just as much as it has for me, and I'm learning just as much as you're learning. So forgive all the inaccuracies, but I hope to improve it as I go. But this has been just a brief introduction to the Harappan civilization, the Indus Valley. Yeah, anyway. So thank you for joining me, and look out for the next outfits. At the school, we're going to be doing the Golden Age of Egypt next, so stay tuned for that. Cool, thank you very much. And as they say in Indian and Hindi, Namaste, and as they say in Harappan,
पाण गुजारो पस्तिय में का जन्म जन्म जी हस्तिय में ओ झड़ भी हुई ऊंद भी हुई सतरंग सुहायन साण बर्यो मोहनजोदड़ो